Hello, and welcome to another edition of a power-packed Phillips podcast. Yeah, buddy. As we narrow down our teams in the hunt for the Super Bowl, a little shout out to the Broncos, Tim Tebow fans out there. Unbelievable. Anyways, we talked about in our last podcast the teams that are left in the hunt for the Super Bowl started practicing months ago for the Super Bowl. So we're going to practice a couple months ahead to get you ready for gridding the grids on the FCAT correctly. So we are going to continue our epic, huge podcast series on how to fill in the grids for the FCAT. Plus 10 for the Bears if you use a pen. And if you were absent from our last class, please make sure your name is on the paper. Pay attention during the podcast. No monkeying around. All right, in our last podcast, we addressed how to grid in negative numbers or integers. Nice vocabulary. The Bears on the FCAT. For today's podcast, we're going to spend a little bit of time practicing how to grid in mixed numbers on the FCAT. So here we go. So we're going to look at how we would grid in a mixed number, such as 13 and 1/4. If you would, on your paper, find one of the grids that has this black rectangle in it with the negative sign up at the top, and I would like you to put 13 space and then the fraction 1/4. I put a fraction bar in between them, and then bubble in 1, 3, 1 fraction bar 4 on your paper, and please write epic fail, Chicago Cub-like, because common sense would say, well, that's the mixed number, 13 and 1/4. But that is the incorrect way. So take a moment, go ahead and write that in on one of the grids with the black bar on your paper, and please write epic fail above it. The reason why it's incorrect, guys, and I don't want you to do that on the FCAT, is we're not going to write the mixed number in the grid. So now the question becomes, if we don't put the mixed number in the grid, how do we do it? It's too bad you didn't ask sooner. Could have been plus 10 for the class. So we have a couple of different ways to remember it. Here's our mixed number, 13 and 1/4. We can either remember it around the world, or we can remember mad. For those of you that had the crazy math teacher in 6th grade, this will be a blast from the past. So let's do around the world. I'm going to take the 4, which is my denominator, and I'm going to multiply it by the whole number here. So I'm going to do 4 times 13. If the coffee is still flowing, 4 times 13 is going to give me 52. Now I'm going to take that 52 and I'm going to add the numerator to it. So 52 plus 1 gives me 53. My denominator is 4. My denominator stays the same, so it would be 53 over 4. So very quickly, I did 4 times 13, or commutative property, 13 times 4. Nice vocabulary word. The Bears. And either one would give me 52. Then I just did 52 plus my numerator 1, which gave me the 53. So when you get a mixed number for an answer on the FCAT, you have to put it in as an improper fraction, 53 over 4. The other way you can remember it, if you don't want to do around the world, is you can remember MAD. MAD's going to stand for multiply. That's what I did right here. Add. That's what I did right here. D does not stand for divide. D is going to stand for my denominator is going to stay the same. So pick one of the other grids that has the negative sign, please, and the black box here on your paper, and please put 53 fraction bar 4, and please write the correct way. Minus 10 bears. That's all right. I'll get it back. Also, bubble in the 5, the 3, the fraction bar, and the 4. This would be the correct way. Notice I left this box empty right here because that would be only if I had a negative answer. So you should have the correct way and the epic fail way written on your paper. Just my reminder to you, you have to change or convert the mixed number to an improper fraction. So there's my improper fraction that I put in the grid. Also, in case you're wondering, here's my minus 10 being negated. This way would also be correct. I could put the 4 in the box all the way to the right, then my fraction bar, and then 3 and 5. So you can put it on the left. Do not put it in the box with a negative sign, or you can put it all the way to the right. Both ways are correct. All right, now I would like you to try one on your own. How would you grid 7 1/3 on the FCAT? Pick one of the grids on your paper that has a negative column, and you try it on your own. No, that gets really annoying. I will be right back, BRB, and we'll see if you got it right. So try it on your paper. All right, guys, if you did it correctly, you should have 22/3 on your paper in one of your grids. How did I get to 22/3? Easy. 3 times 7 gave me 21, and then I added the 21 with the 1, which gives me 22 over 3. 22/3. Remember, you may want to say minus 10 bears here, but I get it negated because there are two ways that you can grid it in. The 22 on the left side, or the 22 fraction bar 3 on the right side. Just keep in mind, if you're going to do it this way here on the left, leave this box empty. The only time you would fill in that box is if you have a negative. Remember, do not write the mixed number in the grid. You have to change or convert the mixed number to an improper fraction. So you should have 3 grids filled out for me today. One of them has 22/3 on it. Either way is correct. Pick one way to do it. And you should have the epic fail way and the correct way for 53/4. Don't be epic fail on the FCAT. All right, my last reminder to you, let's say it's April, we get to the FCAT and you totally forget how to grid in your responses. Did you know that there is a page in your FCAT book that shows you how to grid in the grids?
Oh my gosh!
So if you forget, at the front of your test booklet that has all the test questions in it for the FCAT, there will be a page that shows you how to grid in the grids. They clearly tell you right there in the front of your FCAT book, if you have 13 1/4, change it to 53/4, change it to an improper fraction. They show you a picture of it, and they show you the incorrect way. So no reason why you should make silly mistakes on the grids. If you forget how to grid them, look at the front of your FCAT test booklet. All right, guys, that concludes another huge podcast. When you're finished, I'm going to ask that you take your paper with all the grids that you were working on, put it either in the folder on my chair, or if someone's sitting in my chair, put it in the folder on my desk and return your iPod. Thanks, guys.